Hi guys, welcome back to our second episode of Activate Asia's podcast series. Today we're here with Managing Director Wazir Nizar. Hi Wazir.
Hi, Yadu.
Yeah. So before we actually start talking about business, so there are two things that every Sri Lankans are facing right now: the weather and the Colombo traffic. So what do you think about that, Wazir?
So to be honest, Yadu, when I was coming to office today, I really didn't calculate the distance or times. I actually look at the survival probability. You see the roads are flooded, see the traffic. Colombo actually test your patience.
Exactly, Wazir. Because surviving Colombo traffic, that should really be added as a professional skill in LinkedIn, right?
Yes, to be honest, navigating Colombo teaches me so many things, emotional resilience, crisis management. These are real CEO skills.
All right. Okay. So speaking of CEO skills, was importantly, how much of coffee does it take to run a company?
Very, very important question, and my team would surely know the answer. I would say maybe about 10 a day.
Really, 10? Okay. So isn't that too much of caffeine?
Honestly, Yadu, as an MD, when you are managing client visits, operations, strategies, uh, issues, people management, when you handle all these things, caffeine actually becomes your business partner.
Yeah, I get it. So that actually makes our professional listeners feel personally validated, right?
Exactly, Adushan. If you see the business world now, it is rapidly changing. Operations are changing, customer expectations are changing, business models are changing, right? When you have to face all these things, you really need energy. Sometimes it's a cup of tea or coffee.
And yeah, was it? So technology itself is changing faster than ever, right? So yeah. Meanwhile, everyone's talking about AI replacing jobs, changing, transforming industries. So yeah, we can't even convince our office printers to cooperate with us, right?
Very good one, Yadu. To be honest, right, people are talking about industry, AI is changing the industries and stuff. By daily, I can hear my people shouting, "Why are you offline again to the printers?" So it's part and parcel of the job role.
Yeah. Everyone's dreaming about AI, but then we actually still fighting with our printer.
Very true, Yadu. But jokes apart, to be honest, technology is really reshaping the business world. You can actually have the headquarters in London, support team from Colombo, and development and IT support from India. Okay, and the customers could be from US. So the businesses are actually operating seamlessly, right? So the business world is actually changing. The world of work has actually changed dramatically. So this is the future what we are expecting.
And yeah, Vasil, so this perfectly brings us into today's discussion because one industry is sitting right at the center of global transformation, BPO and outsourcing, right? Most of them they know the term, but I guess few understand how this impacts the economy, right?
Very good, very good. I completely agree. Most of the people they think BPO means call centers. To be honest, Yadu, it is larger than that. There are finance services, operations, call center operation is actually one part out of the so many things that operates under BPO segment, right? There are IT support, builder support. All these industries are actually booming. So if it is strategically put into a correct path, it can actually transform economies like Sri Lanka.
Yeah, Vasil, so that's a great place to begin. So let's dive into our discussion, first discussion. So how can the BPO industry transform Sri Lanka's economy?
So Yadushan, actually when it comes to BPO industry, it is no longer a support function in the modern economy,
Mhm.
right? It is actually one of the main core pillars, okay, of the economies in the world, especially the Asian countries like Sri Lanka, Philippines, India,
Mm.
right? Let's take India for an example, right? For Indian GDP, the BPO and BPM industry is actually contributing 7.5 percentage,
Okay.
right? If you take the workforce of BPO and BPM industry, there are about 5 million people working in this sector.
Uh,
BPO alone has about 2.5 million people working in India. right?
Yeah.
So if you see 7.5% which I was telling is about BPO and BPM industry, but if you take BPO industry alone, it is actually contributing 1% to their GDP. So which is a very very big amount comparatively to such a large economy like India.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
true.
it. Now the second country which I mentioned, Philippines. Philippines also actually they are transforming their economy through outsourcing,
Okay.
right? Almost 1.5 million people are being employed in the BPO and BPM sector, Philippines alone. Are you getting me? So
Yeah.
this is the scale we are talking about. So Adushan, what is important here is these countries did not just grow with their natural resources. They are actually exporting their talents, their skills, their operational excellence in order to contribute to their economy. Right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Sri Lanka, if you see, we also have the same opportunity here. So Yadushan, actually the question is not if Sri Lanka can become the next global leader in the BPO. The actual question is how fast can we position ourselves to capture the next global outsourcing wave?
All right, Basil. So I understand how huge this industry is. So can you explain me why do you believe that BPO is strategically important for Sri Lanka right now?
So Yadu, you actually asked a very important question, right? BPO BPO solves many national challenges. For an example, let's take a few of the national challenges that we are facing at the moment. Dollar revenue,
Okay.
youth employment, uh, technology, global business integration, foreign exchange. BPO actually addresses all these issues simultaneously. And also, Yadushan, if you take IT, BPM, and BPO industry, it is actually contributing about $3 billion in export revenue, right? Apart from that, if you take the employment, there are about 90,000 BPO professionals in Sri Lanka and about 140-50,000 BPM professionals who are actually working in this industry. What is more exciting is this industry is growing 12% annually. And also, Yadu, unlike other industries, BPO export doesn't depend on containers, ports, and raw materials.
Okay.
We actually export the human capabilities. This actually makes this one of the scalable industries that Sri Lanka can actually invest in.
All right, Basil. So, as you said, that BPO solves many challenges that we are facing, especially dollar revenue and foreign exchange, right? All right. So, take tea and apparel. So, these are the industries which brings more foreign exchange and dollar revenue. So, do you believe that BPO could be the next tea or apparel for Sri Lanka?
Absolutely, Adushan. BPO actually could be more impactful. For an example, tea and apparel is built around physical production, but BPO is built around intellectual capital, right? Which means faster scalability, right? Lower infrastructure barrier, significantly higher long term value. So these are the things that BPO can actually add to our economy.
Okay.
In fact, Yadu, the world is actually moving towards digital service economies. For an example, IT support, software support, customer support, what else? You can even add accounting, finance, logistics coordinations. All these are becoming global export categories. Consider Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has a literacy advantage, right? Advanced adaptability, and also a workforce that can actually compete with international markets. So these are the advantages that Sri Lanka actually has. So strategically, if we plan this BPO industry, we can actually become the next economic pillar over the next decade for sure.
So you just told me that BPO industry could become the next economic pillars in Sri Lanka, right?
Yes.
So countries like India and Philippines, so they are the global giants, right? So what do we have? What are the advantages we have in order to compete there?
Yadushan, we actually have several underrated advantages. Do you know that?
Mhm.
First of all, I'll tell you the literacy rate. Do you know the
Yeah.
literacy rate of Sri Lanka? Any idea?
No.
It is actually more than 92% with the recent survey, right? 92 percentage is actually comparatively to Philippines, they are also having somewhere about 92%. But India, you know, the literacy rate is so low, right? So we have an advantage there.
Okay.
Second thing, Sri Lankans can easily adapt to any culture, especially to Western culture. If you see the culture around, you can understand, right? Even there are Sri Lankans who are working in the BPOs, they can easily adapt to UK accent, US accent, or any accent that they are working for. So these are the advantages. But when it comes to other countries like Philippines, India, the adaptability is very less compared to Sri Lanka. So Yadushan, the third advantage we have is workforce quality, right? So Sri Lankan professionals are actually analytical, result oriented, and detail oriented. Are you getting me? So compared to any other market, we have such qualities when it comes to professional services, right?
Okay.
Those are one thing. And one more advantage that I could tell, we have the cost competitiveness, right? We can actually offer more value in a lesser cost comparatively to the other giants in the market.
All right. So, like, could you please explain the more value part?
Yes, for an example, Yadushan, now let's take Philippines for a while, right? Now we are telling they are the global giants, they're actually offering very good services. But do you know in Philippines, most of the almost 70-80 percentage of the outsourcing companies offer remote working only. They don't have in-house working spaces.
Okay.
And also most of the time the employees work their own personal PCs and laptops. Where is the security here? Are you getting me? But when it comes to Sri Lanka, Sri Lankans love to come to office and work, right? So, and if you see the security wise also, IT sector, we are actually booming compared to Bangalore, India, right? We are actually implementing many security protocols. In this is the reason, Yadushan, why so many international companies are already in Sri Lanka. We are actually delivering services to them. There are US companies, there are UK companies, you know.
Okay. So, can you just give me some examples of those companies?
You mean the companies?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there are many examples that I can tell you, Yadu. Let's say finance sector for an example. ENY is here, Deloitte is here, who are already global giants, and there are about more than 500-600 employees working for each company, right? You know another fact. After UK, Sri Lanka has the highest number of CIMA qualified professionals. That is the reason why these finance companies are already here in Sri Lanka, because our value of services are really good, right? You ask me, like for an example, let's say US, there are Accenture is there, Virtusa is there. They are US companies, they're already working. You would have heard, like Virtusa is one of the leading BPOs in Sri Lanka. And if you see UK, WNS Global, London Stock Exchange, all these companies are here. Likewise, I can name out so many.
Yeah.
And there are other companies equally providing, Sri Lankan companies I'm talking about, equally providing equal services to such companies, right?
Yeah.
So the this is one of the main reasons I would say that we already have the credibility. That is the reason why these foreign companies are already here in Sri Lanka.
Thanks for sharing such strong insights. So now let's move away from the topic, and yeah, women in BPO industry. So globally, BPO seems to provide more opportunities for women, right?
Yes.
So why is that?
Yes. Actually, they are adding more value to BPO industry. Let me explain it to you. So, one of the beautiful aspects of BPO industry is inclusivity, right? So I'll take one example to explain the question which you asked. If you take Philippines for an example, there are about 52 percentage of women who are in the supervisory level in BPO sector, and almost 38 percentage are in director level. I'm talking about women.
Okay.
Are you getting me? Right. So now see, they are the global leaders, and the women are contributing so much to such sector. Right. That is the main reason why BPOs, most of the BPOs have, for an example, take our company. We have about like 60 percentage women and 40 percentage men. See, we are also becoming one of the leaders in the industry. Right. Now, Yadu, if you like with that example, we can understand one thing. BPOs does not just give career opportunities. It actually gives you career pathways, right? Sometimes I hear like people in Sri Lanka, mainly people tell they actually feel shy to tell that they are working for a BPO. Like I'm working at a call center, I'm working at data entry. So they think this is something that they don't want to put it out to the community. But if you see, I actually started my career as a call center executive, right? So basically, I see many people in this industry who has fabulous careers, especially in BPO industry itself. I can name so many people. Are you getting me? So that is one of the speciality of this BPO industry. You don't get stuck somewhere. You actually have a pathway to move forward,
Exactly.
right? And also, Yadu, if you see BPO industry, you see like most of the BPO companies, the growth is performance based, right? So when the growth is depending on the performance, you can't just lay down any woman. If a woman can perform, actually she can climb the ladder easily.
Yeah, that's
I get me.
obvious.
And one more thing, most of the BPO jobs, BPO processes actually offer remote working, right? Women like mothers, right, married people, they can actually offer their services from home. I getting me.
Yeah.
That is one of the main reason why women are actually encouraged to apply for such roles. Are you getting me? So in the earlier discussion, I was telling you, Philippines actually they are offering most of the time remote jobs. That is the reason why women are also there are
Mhm.
many women in Philippines who are actually contributing to the BPO industry. So we should understand one thing: when women are economically empowered, they don't just contribute to themselves; they are actually contributing for their family and to the next generation. So this is the main reason why personally I believe women empowerment not only in BPO, in any sector, it is very important.
Yeah, was it? So it's really true, right, that women play a major role in BPO industry.
Hmm.
So now let's talk about youth employment. So why does BPO attract so many youth?
They can work hard and party hard. That's the main reason.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain.
Uh,
So Yadu, I believe when it comes to this generation with youth, right? They actually look for two things when they start a career. One is freedom, the other one is growth, right? I believe BPO actually offers that freedom and growth in a very short period. That is the main reason why most of the youth are actually applying for BPO related jobs. I'll something actually coming up when I speak about this. I'll take a very good example. You know, when you take our father's generation, right? When they wanted to enter a career, job is like a religion for them. You know, even if the boss beats them up, they won't leave the job,
yeah.
right? We
Yes.
had such a period. After that, then our generation came. In our generation, for us job is important, but
Yeah.
uh, with job we were looking for some other option. We wanted to get settled. We wanted to have time with our family. We wanted to have a car and a nice house. All these things we were considering. If the job doesn't offer you, we were ready to change our job roles.
Obviously, yeah.
But when it comes to this Gen Z and the youth, apart from that, they want another thing, which is, as I said, the freedom and growth,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And also, if you see the BPO industry, actually BPOs can work as a gateway to their careers, right? They can enter the job market as customer support executive, but after 5 6 years, they can easily become operation professionals, AI related professionals, customer service specialists. So all these career path will be opened through a basic level job role as a customer support
Customer
executive.
support. Okay.
So this is one of the reason why youth are mainly entering to BPO industry. And the other one more thing, if you see, one more thing, BPOs actually can offer a global exposure at an early stage. You don't get that opportunity in any other industry,
Okay.
right? So most of the time when you enter a BPO job role, you will be mostly talking to UK clients, US clients. You will be dealing with other professionals from other countries. So this early level, when this industry offers such an opportunity in an early level, that is actually advantageous for these youth. So when it comes to this generation, they're actually smarter. They actually want to take quicker decisions, right? They know the technology and AI better than us, right? So actually, without the youth, I don't think the BPO industry can move forward, right? They are one
Mm-hmm.
of the largest contributing factors for the BPO industry.
That's really acceptable, Vasil, because me as a youth, I really wanted freedom plus growth at the same time. So that's the main reason I'm in this industry. So let's slightly move apart from that topic and get into finance and accounting.
Okay.
So Sri Lanka is well known for financing and accounting, right?
Yes.
So how does this affect with outsourcing?
So, Yadu, the answer actually I already told you, right? Sri Lanka has the second highest number of SIMA qualified people after UK, right? So, you see, where we already have the talent here, right? That is the main reason why Deloitte, EY, these companies are already working in Sri Lanka, right?
Yeah.
There are about, I think, more than 2,000 professionals working for such companies, all right? So if you see, we have a very good alignment with UK when it comes to finance and reporting. Almost our laws are similar, right? Almost our the policies that we follow are similar to UK. So easily we can adapt and we can do such services from Sri Lanka to UK based clients. Are you getting me? So already I see many companies in Sri Lanka already offer these services such as bookkeeping, payroll, accounting, final accounting, management accounting. Already these services are there. So I believe still the opportunity is wide open. I'm not only talking about UK, right? If Sri Lanka strategically plan well and if we position ourselves well, we can actually become the global giant in accounting and financial sector because we have the talents already. So we have to focus on what we have and deliver what we can.
So Vasil, so far we was talking about US, UK, US and UK markets, right?
Yes.
So what are the other markets? What are the other markets that Sri Lanka should focus on?
Are you talking about the upcoming markets that we can actually focus on?
Yeah, yeah,
I was actually waiting for this question, Yadu. You know, if we focus on the traditional markets like US and UK, I do not think that we can move forward. We can compete with the other countries like India and Philippines. There are so many other markets that we can actually tap in. Let me explain. So, Yadu, we actually need to look at emerging opportunities in the global market. For an example, I'll tell you Ireland, right? Ireland is an English speaking country which is already an outsourcing hub for European countries,
Right.
and it has very advanced technology. But you know the main disadvantage for the companies who are outsourcing it to Ireland,
Uh,
cost. The cost is already above the market level and still it is increasing. You get me? So what we can do is we can actually target Ireland where the companies can re-outsource their process to a Sri Lankan company, whereas the costs are very less and we can offer better services. So these things actually we actually have to position ourselves. I personally I do not think that Ireland would have heard that Sri Lanka is a good global market for outsourcing. So we have to place ourselves there, right? Now there is a similar country in Asia, like we usually Sri Lankans go to this country, but we don't see the opportunity there, right? The country is Singapore.
okay.
Singapore is already the headquarters for Asia Pacific multinational companies, right? Almost all the multinational companies they are keeping their head office in Singapore to provide their services to Asia, right? But you see, the operational costs are very high, right? Human workforce is really high, but we Sri Lanka can actually be an offshore destinations for the countries that is operating from Singapore, right? This is an opportunity that we can look at. Now let's come back to Europe again. You would have heard about Netherlands, right?
Yeah.
So Netherlands, people might think like, why I'm talking about Netherlands? It is not even English speaking country. I understand, but Netherlands actually has a requirement for multilingual support. You know why? Because it is Europe's one of the largest logistics hub. Do you think only the Dutch speaking crowd is working there? No, all the countries, all the European countries has their operations in Netherlands since it is a logistics hub. So they need multilingual support. When it comes to multilingual, English is one of the main languages which Sri Lankan can easily offer because Netherlands policies, Netherlands laws are almost equal to UK laws and policies, which Sri Lanka also has the similar laws and policies. So we can offer such services.
Okay, Basil. So since you are talking about Netherlands, so what about other Europe countries such as Germany, France?
Yes, let's take Germany for an example. Germany is Europe's largest economy. right? So countries like this already there are so many immigrants, you see. So immigrants, they do not speak Dutch or French, they speak that language, but still what is their professional language? It is going to be English,
English.
right? So I personally believe there is a huge opportunity for such multilingual speaking professionals, where they can outsource their services to a lower cost nation like Sri Lanka. And also, Yadu, people usually do not look at South Africa. South Africa, it is actually one of the leading BPO hubs in the world, right? We always talk about Philippines, India, because they are our direct competitors. But if you take US market, US almost, I think, 60% of their processes are being outsourced to South Africa. But the problem there, South Africa is already saturated. So what we can focus on is we are actually closer to South Africa than India and Philippines. We can actually get the processes which are overflowing in South Africa. We can be as the secondary destination for South Africa. So these are the aspects I'm talking about. These are the things where we can place ourselves in the BPO market, in the global market. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Not only South Africa. Now, let's say our other closest nations like United Arab Emirates, UAE, right? UAE, that is actually the financial hub for the almost entire world, right? Asia,
Yeah.
it is the main hub, right? Same, if you see their living cost, their real estate cost, it is already high, it is already skyrocketing, right? So the same office which we can put a 2000 square feet office in Dubai actually costs 10 times higher than Sri Lanka. So there are level 2, level 3 jobs, we can actually do it from Sri Lanka. Are you getting me? So, but to be honest, when I go to exhibitions that happens in Dubai and all, I never see a Sri Lankan company. But I see Indian companies, I see Philippines company, I see Bangkok companies there. But Sri Lankans, actually, we have to fight hard. We have to step up in order to gain the place in this global market. Are you getting me? And also there is one more market, Japan. Right now, you see, if you see the Sri Lankan trend, mostly Sri Lankans, they want to go to Japan more than the Middle East, right? I see most of there are plenty of people who can actually speak Japanese, right? So why don't we make use of such talent? We can speak Japanese. There are people in Sri Lanka. Japan is a premium market, right? It is one of the global's world's biggest economy, right? We can offer our services, but what we have to do is, we rather than focusing on the traditional markets like UK, US, okay, we have to step up. We have to make sure that our name is, Sri Lanka's name is spread out to these countries, that we are offering such services from Sri Lanka.
Yeah, Vasil. So I understand that there are so many global markets, right? So now let's deviate our focus into Sri Lanka.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that you might know that Colombo has a lot of BPOs, right?
Yeah, not only BPOs, there are other companies also.
There are more companies, yeah. So the employees who are coming from rural areas, so they are supposed to travel a lot distance to get into Sri Lanka,
Get
to
into
get into
Colombo,
Colombo.
yes.
Sorry, yeah. So why can't we spread this? Why can't we spread it to other rural places?
You are asking about the BPO companies to spread out to
Yeah, exactly.
other regions. Very good point, Yadu. Definitely we can do that, right? So one of the major advantages of BPO is flexibility, Yadu, right? With the modern tech, right? Modern technology actually offers us a solution where we can spread out any work to any region in the country. And Sri Lanka has one of the best internets around the world. To be honest, if you go to any area like, let's say, Kurunegala, Kandy, or even Jaffna, we have a very good internet connection. So we can actually spread out to these regions. Like for an example, now people might think like Colombo is the only region that has talents. No, completely wrong. For an example, let's take last year's A-level results. Who got the island ranking? Someone from Betiklo for commerce sector. For other streams also the same thing. Not Colombo people are there. I understand. Colombo people are getting higher results because the infrastructure, the facilities are also higher compared to other regions. But in other regions, people are actually performing without such facilities, right? So actually, as industry people, what we have to do is, we have to spread our centers maybe with remote work, To be honest, if a process can be done remotely, why don't we offer such opportunities to people outside Colombo? They do not need to relocate to Colombo in order to find a good job in not only BPO, in any other sector. Are you getting me? Even if you take our company, as you know, there are so many people who are coming from Rambukana, Kandy, Bandaravela even, and they are in the management roles also, right? So my focus is also personally, I actually have a plan where we will be spreading out our operations to other regions also in the country, and I hope other companies also follow that. So whereas we will be giving these opportunities to other rural areas in Sri Lanka, which will be a very good factor when we develop as an industry, as a BPO industry.
Yeah, Vijay. So that's what I was also thinking of. So yeah, now actually we're out of time. So let's get into our final topic.
Okay.
So what's your vision? What's your vision in Sri Lanka's future BPO industry? So can you just briefly explain it?
It's an important but wide question, Yadushan. If I want to answer, there are so many things that I would like to answer, but I will give you a summary of what I think about future BPO industry. To be honest, I personally strongly believe Sri Lanka can become the most respected knowledge service based economies in Asia, right? For that, we have to align so many things. It won't happen overnight. Are you getting me? Especially with our education, our policies, our private sector investment, the infrastructure development, all these things has to be aligned together in order to achieve such level.
Okay.
But with the recent changes that is happening in the country, I do not think that is far away. We can actually go to that level maybe by 2030s to 2040s. We'll be able to achieve that level in the global market, right? So Yadu, the BPO industry is not only about answering calls, right? The Sri Lankan people and the leaders should understand that, first of all, right? The BPO industry is about exporting intelligence, first of all, right? And we have to create talents that can actually compete with the global market, right? And we have to attract international revenue. And especially Sri Lanka should align with the global digital economy. So Yadushan, if you align all these things together and if you take this really seriously, BPO can actually become one of the transforming industries that transforms Sri Lanka's future. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Right? So that's all for now. So Yadushan, I hope I meet you again for the next session in future, right?
Sure.
So I hope I have cleared your doubts and the questions you had. So we almost discussed so many things about BPO and the industry, right? So I hope to discuss so many other related topics in future. What about you?
Yeah, Wazir. So thank you so much for providing such informations, and those were really worthful. So I guess our viewers they also understood the concept of BPO industry, right? Yeah. So this is the end of second episode of podcast series. So hope we'll join in the next episode. So yeah, thank you, Wazir.
Thank you so much, Yadu.